actions, decisions, thoughts. And when you hold yourself responsible, it leaves very little room for blame games. You develop better control over your life, and being responsible, it's really about self-awareness. How can we notice our thoughts, feelings, and emotions more and not let that be running the show and stepping into the driver's seat of this job search? It is my hope for everybody in here to get the results that they came from. The inability to understand what personal responsibility really is and how much fear can take over even when you've invested in yourself and you have reached out for those resources. And the name of the game, no one's coming to save you. I want you to be able to be in a place where you're thinking big, but I need you carving out time management and really looking at what's working and what's not working. Even if you can't get your mind to a place where it's like, I'm ready to say, I am ready to accept all responsibility, take the thought to I'm at least open and willing to what that feels like. Because I always tell everybody, you can't necessarily always jump from a negative to a positive. Your willingness to self-examine what she's talking about is the first step. And so when you're thinking about, okay, when you hear the words ownership or responsibility, okay, immediately what are your thoughts and emotions around it? Is it scary? Is it uncharted territory? Is it like you don't even know what I'm talking about? At least just say, hey, you know what? I'm willing and open to look at this. If we sit down and we write our goal in the morning, don't overthink it. How do I want to feel today? What can I contribute today? Start small. I always tell you guys that. Every successful person I know does this practice. And now in an instant, we can create what we want because we've been in this practice for so long. You just can't even fathom what can happen for you. I mean, you can. You guys are all great. You can fathom it. But are you making it happen? What is available to you when you step into this and you stay committed to this and stay in control of how you feel? There are devastating effects in marriages, families, companies, your individual lives when you are not in a place of taking personal responsibility. What devastating effects have happened in your life or in lives of others that you've seen where people are not taking personal responsibility in their lives? Look at the leadership in the companies you've been at. Have you been a part of a marriage that just unraveled because both people were not taking personal responsibility of themselves, their actions, and their emotions? I encourage you guys to really open up to this and start your day this way. If anyone here is feeling like they're waiting to be ready to take ownership, what would it feel like if it's just a decision and not something that you have to be ready for? Yep. You got some sticky things going on in your marriage because of this. Why can't you just get a job or just do this, or you're spending too much time on this or whatever? What we have to remember is that we are in our own human experience and we have to be responsible for our own human experience. So to give you an example, if I have somebody on the phone who's like, I know this program is right for me. I know I can get the results that I'm after. I really want to do this, but my wife just won't let me. I go out on a limb here and I'm very bold about this. And I say, hey, listen, has your wife ever been in a role like the one you want to be in? Does she like financial freedom? This is going to help secure you a role, or you can stay floating around not in control of the situation. Now, if you're in the program, you've already moved through a scenario like that and they're just not quite understanding where you want to go in your life and you have different goals. If you are, in love with this person, you want to create a life with this person, I go to a place of just radical acceptance of my spouse. And I always want to come from a place of love, and I focus on love and live in my truth. And then I just watch how things start to change and evolve sort of on their own. If we're truly living in our truth and our actions match up to what we say we want to do, you really begin to set an example, and that tension starts to dissolve like day by day. And this is kind of just a bird's eye view. I don't know the ins and outs of your specific scenario, but we're going to stumble across people in our life that just cannot get on board with what we're talking about. I have very strong boundaries in this area of my life because I know that I am a product of who I surround myself with. Radical acceptance, like, okay, let me just meet her where she's at. If she can't even understand these goals or what I'm doing anyway. And then maybe she doesn't have to know every single little detail. We have to choose to see the good and we have to choose to see opportunity. If we're not doing that, those things don't exist. And so we illuminate great things if we're in that place of gratitude. We illuminate that for other people. This is the ripple effect of changing the world, starting with yourself. So it's like the thing that you need to do the most might be the thing you don't really want to do, but when you do it, you feel amazing. You ever notice that? And so that's what we need to focus on, the things in our life that feel really good and not being pulled in so many directions and falling victim to time. I know it's difficult sometimes, guys. I've suffered from chronic fatigue. I have suffered from injuries and depression, and I've been there, guys. I'm not over here all rainbows and butterflies. I've had debilitating anxiety. We can open this another day, but I'm just saying what helps you to claw out of that is making a decision to live our life a different way and staying aligned with that and getting help and support where you can. And that's what you've done here. And I love all of you and just thank you so much for being here.